It's a rainy night tonight, so if you hear rain coming down, it's because it's raining. Let's talk about PSA grading and why certain cards get certain grades. I know it's always a question. I think the more I've collected cards, the more I kind of see how PSA operates and why they do certain things. There are also times, that being said, that I get completely baffled when I see a card in a holder that it just doesn't look like it belongs in. So I'm going to talk about that tonight. This is a PSA 1 Ted Williams 1957 Topps. I have seen PSA 1s in this specific card that look like a truck has run over it, and then the truck caught on fire, caught the card on fire, and then someone came by, stepped on it, put a shoe print on it, spit their gum out on it, and then ripped a big piece of paper off the back, and it's still a 1. This card is so good looking. That's why I do try to stick with buy the card, not the grade. The higher up you get in grading, the honest truth is people are buying the grade. They're just it's such a subjective system. But let's talk about this card and why did this get a PSA 1 when it doesn't have any creases. It may have, let's see, I mean, it's got great color, no paper loss, no stains. There is, however, a pinhole, a tiny little pinhole. You can see right there next to Ted's head. Old Ted's head. And if you want to talk about Ted's head, look up, I think it's called cryogenic freezing or something like that. Ted did that, and there is a legendary story about Ted's dead head being thrown around after he passed away. I don't even want to get into it, but anyway, pinhole right there is why they graded it that. So that's an awesome way to get a card. If you're just in it to collect and get cards that you like, hey, a pinhole shows that this was probably some little boy's card back in the 50s and 60s, and it was hanging on a wall, probably in New York City. But other than that, it's an awesome card. You're not going to find a 1 that looks like, I've seen 3.5s and 4s that look just like that card, minus that tiny little pinhole. And I don't mind it for an iconic player and card, if it's something that's just going into my collection. So PSA takes a lot of different things into account when they grade, and one of the big things I see that they do is on appearance. They say, well, it may be off-centered a little bit, but the color's great, or it's got bad centering and the corners are sharp, or there's something unclean about the back. So there's a lot of different factors that they take in, and you will start to see, the more you collect, them do different, how they do things. But this specific card, I think, if a pinhole, in your opinion, doesn't bring a card down, then spend the money on that, and save your money and get something else if you want to be able to add this to your collection and not spend double or 3 times more for a card that looks just about the same.